Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, often I do a little quiz of can you guess where I am today, but I'm thinking it's probably going to come as no surprise that hopefully you can see some horses behind me. And today I'm really delighted to be down at the Royal Alexandra and Albert stables. And I'm here today with our stable manager, Irini Economou. And we're going to talk a little bit about how the children do riding lessons here and what the stables is like here, etc. But it'd be really nice, if you don't mind, if first of all we can ask a little bit about you. So how long have you been here, Irini?
Good afternoon, Ria. It's so lovely to see you down here. I've been at the school for just over 14 years.
What is your background that has brought you to the Royal Alexandra and Albert School?
Well, I was very lucky to go to a school very similar to this, where I was introduced to horse riding. Then my parents, I'm really lucky, I've got really good supportive parents that bought me a pony. One year we went to Olympia and we saw the King Street Royal Horse Artillery do the musical ride. I then decided that was my career pathway in the equitation world, and I joined the British Army at the age of 18. I joined the military as in the Royal Horse Artillery, where I was trained as a basic gunner. Then I was light gun trained, and then I joined the King Street Royal Horse Artillery, which was an outstanding experience. I was based at St John's Wood for 4 years, and then the next 2 years I was based at Lark Hill in Salisbury, where I ran the children's department, the Saddle Club, and I trained the recruits to go to the King Street.
And so I can absolutely see why that pathway bring you to this school.
Yeah.
Okay, and you teach the children here their lessons?
I do. I'm one of the instructors here at the school.
And could you tell us a little bit about the horses that you've got and where you got them all from?
Most of our horses come from Ireland. They come from a yard that they have been ridden, done pony club. They've been there for several years, and then they come over to us, and then we use them in the riding school. A large percentage of our ponies are from Red Wings, the horse charity, and they're superb little ponies.
And actually you featured in some magazines when you first rescued some of those ponies. I saw the magazine extracts that you guys are in.
Yes, indeed. We've been in the Horse and Hound and many other local magazines.
Now what people can't see on this webinar is quite what I can see. Obviously you can hopefully see some of the little faces of our ponies who are very interested to know why we're down here today. I can see behind the camera we've got a beautiful floodlit sand school, some lovely painted jumps. I think you painted those jumps yourself there,
yes, indeed.
ma'am. And we often bring the children down here and we do little gymkhanas and you do clear round jumping. Now, thinking about the parents who may be listening today, how can any child do riding lessons here?
Any child can do riding lessons here. We have weekly riding lessons. We have the opportunity for students to join the Pony Club section. The Pony Club is one of the largest youth organisations for horse riding in the UK. And then we also offer the Challenge Award, VHS Challenge Award.
Oh, what's that?
That's superb. For those that don't know, the VHS is the British Horse Society. It's one of the largest horse organisations in the world. The VHS offers a pathway into the horse industry, giving training and career and examination opportunities.
So basically the children not only learn to ride, but they can learn all about kind of horsemanship and how to look after the ponies, etc.
Yes, if they were to do the bronze, silver and gold, that would take them straight into their stage 2 examination.
So now just to talk a little bit about the riding lessons. It's worth our audience knowing we do charge a little bit extra for the riding lessons and the parents pay for those separately. Can a child start to ride with us if they are a complete beginner?
Yes, they can. And it's really lovely because you find most students do begin as a complete beginner, and then they go throughout their school
sort of career
here riding. We have many students that have left that have come from junior, senior and sixth form, and they still come back to ride and volunteer.
I mean, that's really important, the volunteering aspect here. I've talked in previous webinars about things like the Global Leaders Award that we do at sixth form, and helping out at the stables is one of the volunteer opportunities that the pupils can be part of. In terms of, so you cater for complete beginners. If we have a student who has their own horse, are they allowed to bring a horse here?
We do not have students bringing their own horses, but they can bring their own horses for lessons.
Ah, okay. So in terms of the kind of lessons that you offer, I can see some show jumps behind me. I'm presuming you offer show jumping, dressage. What kind of things do you offer?
Everything. We
Okay.
cater for all. The show jumping clinics we have every month. We have one lesson per week, and that's for 4 weeks. Students will come every week, have a lesson, and on the 4th lesson they will go to a show and compete, or we will rent a facility and they will jump round.
Oh, that's really important, is it? Because actually, I think with all the sport that we offer at this school, there's very much sort of sport for pleasure, but we also have in mind some of those elite sports pathways as well. And absolutely, the show jumping dressage is on that pathway as well.
Yeah, and part of the being part of the show jumping is preparing the horse to go to the show, putting the horse on the horse box, and then when we return, the final prep of setting the horse back in, making sure the horse is okay. And there's a great spirit between all the students throughout this experience.
Absolutely, because with horses, it's not just the getting on and the doing it. What's really important is all of that care and that kind of sort of thing that exists to get the horse ready to get to the show, all that preparation. And
yes, the whole ethos is great fun. We all thoroughly enjoy going to these experiences.
Absolutely. Now, we have children also that, obviously we're talking about horse riding here as something that's very much part of our co-curriculum opportunity, but we're also really excited that you also run a programme called Changing Lives Through Horses. Could you tell us a little bit about what that is? Because that's much more about our school offering, isn't it?
Yes, I'm absolutely thrilled that we are offering the Changing Life scheme. This is for students to take part throughout the day, mostly within a PE period. And in fact, I have the booklet here. Mostly what they're working on is companionship, relationship, responsibility, confidence, teamwork and personal achievements.
Wow.
So students will come down outside every horse's stable. We have a quote about the horse. So here we have Zoe, and as you can see it says Zoe means life in Greece. It also explains the height of Zoe, the type of horse she is. She's a cob. She is from Red Wings Charity. And there's further information about what feed requirements and bedding requirements. So there's lots for the students to talk about and learn.
So actually the Changing Lives Through Horses is actually utilising the fact that I think with all animals, and I definitely believe with horses in particular, there's a very much a part of the care of that horse that supports that kind of character development in the child, because horses are an animal where you have to behave in a certain way around them. It's about mutual respect, isn't it?
Correct, yeah.
And anyone that's seen the little Thelwell cartoons of little girls riding ponies that won't go in the right way will understand why respect is so important around horses. So let's imagine we've got some of our parents who maybe are listening, who think, well, my child comes to this school, they've never done horse riding, or we've got maybe some parents that are looking forward to joining us in September. How do they go about saying, yes, I would like to do horse riding lessons?
If you're a new starter, Admissions will be sending out an email at the beginning of July whether you'd like to start riding and for applications to be sent back to them.
Brilliant. And then existing parents, they can just contact the stables or the co-curriculum office and they'll put you put the ideas through to you and you can kind of help sign them up.
Correct, yes.
Now you also do some lovely things with the stables, which is something that makes me so happy to be able to be a staff member here, because I will often sit in my office and I will see Irini bringing the ponies up to standing outside the dining hall, and the children, they come out and they stroke the ponies, and the staff do as well, and it's absolutely lovely. And you also put on a variety of trips, don't you? You do things like Horse of the Year show and...
Yes, we've done some splendid trips. Horse of the Year show, the Muse, Olympia, Hickstead.
Brilliant.
We have most years we have students going to compete at the mini challenge at Hickstead, which is such a wonderful experience because they get to mingle with their top international show jumpers.
And that's why, I mean, we're so lucky to have the stables here, and it is such a privilege. I've never worked in a school that has a stables in it, and I think it's true to say that the children that come down to the stables, you're a little community down here, aren't you? That this is for lots of children, this is their thing, this is their place.
Indeed, it's a big community. Students live down here, they love the staff, they love the horses, and they're very passionate. At the end of play, the end of school, they will run down here and we literally have to lead them back to their parents' car or the boarding house.
That's so lovely to hear, and I that kind of speaks to me a little bit, because I know I love coming down to the stables as well, and I need a bit of headspace, and that's what the stables can provide. Thank you so much for allowing us down to the stables today.
Thank you so much.
If parents have any more questions about the stables or about any part of what we've discussed today, just drop the notes into the comments section underneath this webinar, and a member of the marketing team will be able to answer those questions for you. What you may or may not have been able to hear, which is why we've really enjoyed this, is we've got a little Dublin here who's doing what horses often do, and you may be catching that on the film, and that's making us laugh a little bit. Really looking forward to, at the end of this week, another webinar will be going on where I will be speaking to Dan Swan, who is Director of Boarding. So I really hope that you can tune in again then. Thank you so much, and thank you, Irini.